The mountain attack is a race very different from what we are used to in Spain. For starters, you enter the starting box and find yourself with 800 other crazy people. Among them, some of the best ski mountaineers in the world. You can start at the same time as them and share the race with people of such a high level. See you. Same country, exactly, Spain. Thanks. What's going on? The star is running with the skis in hand down the street through the village of Saalbach. Honestly, it's such an awesome feeling because the whole town is cheering you on, and what feels like around 500 meters of running flies by as if it were just 30 seconds. Once at the snow, some people start putting on their skis, others keep running. I was advised to keep running to avoid traffic jams, and that's what I did. I kept running as much as I could, and when I had passed a lot of people, I put on my skis and started the ascent. Once you put on your ski, and with your poles quite high, it doesn't matter which direction you look, you are immersed in a crowd, all going up a slope that is practically black. And that's when different groups start forming. Some people decide to tackle the straight path up using ski crampons, while others, like us, prefer to go to the side and start zigzagging to ease the slope. This is something that also makes the mountain attack a unique race, as there is no single route that everyone has to follow, but there are checkpoints you have to pass through, and how you get there doesn't matter. And when we were almost at the end of this great wall, with barely any strength left, thinking that the wall was too steep, I looked to my left and saw a man missing an arm. He was climbing straight up at the same pace as me. Minutes pass by, vertical meters add up, but there are always people around you going at the same pace, which helps you keep pushing and maintain a high pace to get a good final race time. First 1000 meters under an hour. And at the top of the first uphill, a huge crowd, making a pathway, cheering us on, giving us strength for the rest of the race. That was magical. The first descent was 1000 meters downhill. The light was already getting dim, and it was necessary to turn on the headlamps. I once heard Kilian say that he skied best at night when he could barely see anything, and he merged with nature and his body flowed. I felt a bit of this on the first downhill because I could only see a few meters ahead, but I was really fast, adjusting to the terrain with my feet and not slowing down too much despite the bumpy path. On the second ascent, night had already fallen and we were all with our headlights on. And again, you weren't alone. There were more people keeping up with your pace, and this made you keep going. Here we are on the second ascent. 1,500 meters already. Feeling pretty good. Seems like the incline increases here. That was the first downhill. This ascent was shortened due to the high avalanche risk in the upper part. So they cut off about 400 meters, which, to be honest, I really appreciated. My strength was already waning, and this, like the first one, had almost black tracks, with many slopes where my arms were already very tired. End of the second uphill, 1,700 meters. In the transition zones, I always moved forward as much as I could, went to the edge before the descent, made quick changes and took off. I usually arrived at the changes in a small group and left first, overtaking quite a few positions. On the second descent, suddenly a volunteer stopped you and he'd tell you, take off your skis quickly and start running through that path. So you take off your skis, start running, and they direct you, take you through a cable car station. You'd come out, put your skis back on, and continue the descent. Things like that are what make it special too. And when you reached the bottom of this second descent, you took off your skis again, started running, and the marker and volunteers directed you through the middle of another village we ran through with lots of people cheering for you. This means that at intermediate points in the race where your strength isn't as high, people give you back some energy and motivation to keep pushing. Let's go for the third one. Wait 200 meters, second to last climb. The biggest motivation of the third climb was passing people from the shorter course who would cheer you on, giving you strength, as well as coming across the corpses of those on my same route who hadn't paced themselves as well. 2,500, we are almost done, finishing the last climb. Well, second to last, there's a short climb left. Let's go in a small group. Let's see if we can change up the pace. After the third climb, there was only a small descent left, a stretch of 100 meters of positive climb, and the final descent to the finish line. I reached the last transition, removed the sprint skins and went downhill. They told me I could go pretty fast, and I did. I hit speeds of up to 85 kilometers per hour, already dreaming of the finish line with everyone cheering. The finish line entrance is something magical, as the organization fills the streets with snow and you can ski in. It's an awesome feeling skiing through the town, with people cheering you on, knowing you've completed a tough race like the mountain attack with such a huge positive elevation gain. Turn the streets left and right, it's such a cool sensation, especially with all the Christmas lights. And finally, crossing the finish line, you can say you've completed the craziest, most fun and toughest race of your life.